Importing bank statements in Sage Accounting. Reduce manual processing and import bank statements into Sage Accounting. In this video, we'll show you how to import your bank statements and process the imported transactions. Before you can import a bank statement, you must download this from your online banking service. The accepted import file types are OFX and ASO, QIF, CSV and XLS. OFX and ASO files are an industry standard format. This means you can upload your OFX file without needing to edit or view it, and will be able to process it. If your bank gives you the option to download your statement in this format, we recommend using this over other formats. To upload your statement, navigate to Banking. Select the bank account you want to import transactions into. From the drop-down, click Import Statement. For more information about setting up your import file and to download our CSV templates, click here. This provides detailed information and instructions for each of the accepted file import types, including maximum file sizes. Next, select your file type from the list. For the purposes of this demonstration, we have a 4-column CSV file to import. To upload your file, click here. Alternatively, you can drag and drop the file into this section. From the list, choose which date format is included in your file. When you are happy with the information entered and you are ready to import your file, click here. If there are any errors, you will be informed what the errors are and why the file could not be imported. Correct the errors and re-import the file. In this instance, the incorrect dates have been entered on the import file. There's a validation guide here to help you. Once you have corrected any errors and completed the import without any errors, the next step is to select a transaction type. An example transaction will appear. Simply select whether this was money in or out of your bank, then click Verify. A list of the imported transactions appears. Check these transactions are correct. If there are any incorrect transactions, you can go back by clicking here. To complete the import, click Import Transactions. The bank account tile in Banking shows the number of transactions imported and awaiting review. To view all imported transactions, click the number of transactions. The oldest transactions are listed at the top with the date, reference, and amount. Money in is displayed in black and money out in red with a minus symbol. The processing options are shown to the right of the amount. You can match payments to invoices, create the transaction as money in or out of the bank, or create a transfer from one bank account to another. Let's look at each of these in more detail. We'll start with matching transactions. This is where the incoming transaction should be allocated to an outstanding invoice or existing bank transaction. Sage Accounting will look for potential matches for any existing payments, receipts, or invoices that have the same date and value as the import. This will be automatically matched, and if it's correct, all you have to do is click Match. This payment will be allocated to the invoice and the bank transaction will appear in the bank activity. If a match isn't found automatically, you can match the transaction manually. You can match one payment to several invoices at once if required. For example, a customer may pay more than one invoice in one lump sum. To match this with one or several outstanding transactions, simply choose Match. Then, select all the relevant invoices from the list. Once selected, click Match. If you're matching a part payment, you'll need to amend the payment box at the bottom to specify the amount being paid towards the invoice. You cannot match without amending this figure. Click Match. We'll now show you how to create a banking transaction. This should be used to create money in or money out transactions that don't have an invoice now and won't have one in the future. For example, this could be something like a one-off over-the-counter sale or purchase. When creating a transaction, the For drop-down is not a mandatory field and will often be left empty. This is because a customer or a supplier record may not be required for a one-off transaction. In the What drop-down, you can select the relevant ledger account for this transaction. The reference is pre-populated with the reference shown on the imported file, but you can amend this if required. Check or amend the VAT rate here. If you need to allocate to more than one ledger account or VAT rate, You can do so using the split transaction icon. Enter the relevant ledger accounts, tax codes, and values. Once you are happy with the information entered, click Create. Use the Create option to save the transaction as a payment on account for a customer or supplier. This could be for deposits that do not have invoices now, but an invoice will be created in the future. Payments on account can be allocated to an invoice later. To do this, select the customer or supplier in the For drop-down. In the What drop-down, select Payment on Account. Amend the reference if required. Select the method, then click Create. The payment or receipt remains outstanding on the supplier or customer account until it's allocated to an invoice. Transfer can be used to transfer money between bank accounts. This creates a transaction in both bank accounts. Please note, if both bank accounts have a statement import or a bank feed set up, you should only use the transfer option in one of them. This is to avoid duplicate transactions being created from each of the accounts. You can discard or match the imported transaction from one of the bank account imports to ensure duplications do not occur. Discard an entry by selecting the checkbox next to the transaction and click here. Then click Yes, Delete to confirm. To complete the bank transfer, select the transfer option here. Then choose the relevant bank account the money is being transferred from or to. Check or amend the reference. Once happy with the information entered, click Transfer. Creating rules can help you automatically create transactions next time you import. Each rule has a combination of conditions, such as the reference and the amount they're used to recognize this transaction in the future, instead of manually completing the information within the import. For example, if you pay your gas bill by direct debit each month, the reference and the amount would be the same, so this can be automatically identified and created. Complete the required information in the Rules Management button. Alternatively, complete an imported transaction and then click Create a Rule. In the future, when an imported transaction matches a rule, a suggestion display is asking for you to confirm the match. All you need to do is review the details and confirm that it's correct to create the transaction. Please note, you can only apply one bank rule to each bank transaction. If it's incorrect, you can fix it and then update your rules to match it next time. When you create, edit, or delete a rule, the change will automatically apply to your next batch of incoming transactions. You can also apply your changes to existing transactions. If required, you can create a cash and non-regular refunds too. Only use this for contact records contacts without prior invoices or credit notes, and these transactions will not be created for this refund. For example, a refund made at the point of purchase. Click Complete a Refund and complete the details. The For drop-down isn't mandatory. Leave this blank if the transaction is not for a specific contact. Complete the details and split the transaction using this icon if necessary. If you choose to create a refund link in error, select Revert Back to Purchase to create a payment. Once you are happy with the information, click Create. Automate your processes further and connect your bank to Sage Accounting with bank feeds. Save even more time and avoid human error, as bank transactions are automatically imported for you directly from your bank. Please visit Sage University to watch our videos on setting up and processing using bank feeds. For further information, access our Help Center by clicking Help at the top of Sage Accounting. You have now learned about bank statement import and processing the imported transactions.